Maybe. I don't know. I'm not trying to put
Did you just
excuses.
blame me for losing that
I
sale?
did actually. I'm like, it's all Vicky's fault. Welcome to Creating Connections podcast, episode 15. Is that what we're on now?
16, I
16.
think.
Oh my gosh. Time
16.
time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
I'm Gittimer certified advisor Mitch Taylor,
And I'm certified personality trainer Vicky Musney.
and today on the podcast we've got a couple different topics we want to give you here today. One of them is a post that I've created in our group Sales for Event Pros. And if you haven't had a chance to check it out on Facebook and you want to get some sales insight on booking events, I would encourage you to stop by that group and just add yourself, and we'll approve you and get you in. But recently, I lost a sale.
Yes.
And tailored weddings, we always try to go the extra mile for our brides and grooms, our clients. And so I was traveling back from speaking actually at the WOW conference in
Yep.
Reno,
I
and I
remember when you left.
flew back from Reno to Chicago, and I landed in Chicago, and then I drove north to Appleton, Wisconsin, which is kind of about halfway in between Chicago and where I live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And so I stopped in Appleton in Wisconsin to
So
do
just
a
perspective, you'd been in Reno for 2 or 3 days,
yeah,
and then you had a 5-hour flight to Chicago,
yes,
and then a 3-hour-ish drive
yes,
to meet with these
to
people.
meet with a
Okay,
client.
just making sure everyone else has the full picture.
Okay, so I tell the bride, and the only option I had was either meet with the groom and take a swing there, or try to do this over the telephone with both of them. I chose to meet in person because I feel that I'm much better in person in most cases. Not that I can't close on the phone, I can, but I'd prefer to meet them in person,
Yeah,
if at all
I
possible.
agree.
So I get there, do the Starbucks thing, we sit down, have a conversation. We had good talk. I mean, it was decent, but I could tell he was really just kind of about the bottom line number, didn't really seem to be much into what I was saying, and I couldn't find his hot button and what would
Mhm.
really engage him in further conversation. Uh,
That common ground we were talking about last
yeah, it,
episode.
it was it was
Yeah.
kind of tough to find that,
Mm.
create that connection, so to speak, and maybe I can
Okay.
attribute it to, being jet lagged and time zone differences, and maybe I don't know. I'm not trying to put
Did you just
excuses.
blame me for losing that
I
sale?
did actually. I'm like, it's all Vicky's fault and why I really lost that sale.
That's what I thought you just did.
That's not what this is about, really. Um,
Okay.
I share
Focus.
this because I'm also recently coming off a streak of going 6 for 6 with 3 more meetings that should book. In fact, one of them, since that post, did book, and I'm waiting on 2 more to drop here. Um, but it's I find it awful funny. We dwell on the ones that get away.
Mhm.
We don't focus on that positive, right? Going 6 for 6 recently, but we dwell on the ones that got away. And I think it's very important to celebrate your successes. Please don't get me wrong; it absolutely is. But it's also important, equally important, to examine where we went wrong and the ones that we lost, and how could I have made a better connection with this guy, and what would have worked better as an approach. And in that thread, people had a lot of different comments. One great comment was David Lewis talked about his groom's workshop and how he would have threw out a few suggestions for that, and I did. I gave a couple suggestions from David's groom's workshop with him as well. But I also just got a post in there from industry icon Mark Farrell, who is a part of our group as well and checks in from time to time. And what Mark said here recently in this thread, he said, it happens from time to time, but it's never a loss. Smiley face. And how true is that? I can't look at it as a loss. I can look at it as a gained experience, right?
Mhm.
And
Well, I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate here.
yep.
Did you really, did you really want the sale if there wasn't a good connection?
Well, here's the thing. I really felt I connected decent with his fiance, the bride.
Okay.
Not
Maybe that's why he
necessarily.
didn't want to connect with you.
Oh, well, I didn't connect like that. I didn't.
Sorry.
I'm really good at that, but no, I didn't connect like that with her. But it was just a different conversation
Hmm.
uh, that we had versus what we had with her. And they were set on a budget, and they had some very unique circumstances to their event as well, venue and things like that.
Okay.
And I think sometimes it's really hard for people to see the difference in what we provide with entertainment. Like I was talking with the bride on the phone today. They're very much, this couple is very much blue greens, very much blue greens,
Okay.
engineering background
Uh-huh.
and all
Uh-huh.
that, right? And so they're trying to understand the differences. And I just talked on the phone today and I said, okay. She goes, we're getting some quotes and getting some ideas and we're going to have a long drive this weekend. So we'll chat more about it. And in my head, I'm thinking, honey, you're October 3rd of this year. You're
Oh my
lucky I'm still
gosh.
available, number one,
Yeah.
that we have availability still here at Tailored Weddings to
Is
help
that
with
a
this.
Friday?
It's a Saturday. And I just got
Oh, that's
booked.
right, because mine's on a Sunday.
Yeah, I
That's
just
right. I
got
have one
booked.
on the 4th, so.
I just got booked for a Friday, October 2nd wedding that
Hmm.
same weekend. So I'm thinking she's lucky we're still available, number one. But I said to her on the phone, I said, well, have you had a chance to see any video footage from those other companies you're considering? And she goes, well, no. I said, well, shouldn't that be a red flag? Because especially if she's very analytical
Hmm.
about comparing apples to apples to apples right across the
Yep.
board, then you got to look and say, hey, that's a tick mark in Tailored Weddings' favor if you're going to be that analytical about it, right?
Yes.
So,
And that's true. Different personalities need different things emphasized for
yeah,
them, and different ones, some are okay just reading one review and that's good enough for them. Others will read absolutely everything they can see. Same goes with videos, both video testimonials as well as video clips. For some people, it is more important, but that is strange that they would even consider making a decision if they've seen all of that from you and not from anyone else they're looking
yeah,
at.
and they haven't. So that's kind of interesting to see how that goes down.
But it's probably not because they didn't look for it. It's probably just because it's not there.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mentioned to you before that Dave Tourney told me the other day to drop everything I was doing and listen to Tim Ferriss's most recent podcast.
Cool.
And of course, I did because it was Dave that told me to do that, and I trusted him. And it was a great episode. It was not his typical, but like once in a while he does these where he takes audience questions and people vote, and he answers like 10 of them in a row.
Hmm.
And one of them, he actually spent the bulk of the time on this first one, was about building your audience. And he got into what does it take to build an audience and even why do we build an audience. But what resonated with me was the how. And it relates to something you and I've talked about before, but I just liked the way he put it.
Hmm.
Um, just the way he described making an intentional plan for how you're going to approach social media. I mean, building an audience, whether you're talking about like you and I getting our message out to colleagues, or all of us as business owners trying to reach more brides and more, potential clients,
Hmm.
but just to get our message out in general, it can be kind of overwhelming because there are so many options and there's so much competition for our time. And his approach just made it seem really simple, and it made sense to me. But he talked about analyzing the subcultures that you belong to.
Yes.
And, in his example, it was like, hey, if you're into, gaming or World of Warcraft, to focus on that. For us, it would be, other speakers, other sales experts, other personality trainers, other wedding professionals,
Hmm.
and all of those different things. But to just physically make a list of those 3 to 5 subcultures that you most identify with, and then do some homework. What are the top 5 sites within each one of those cultures where people are going to get information, be it Wedding Wire, or all the Jeffrey Gitomer resources or whatever it is. Make those lists out and look at websites, look at the Twitter accounts that people are following, the Instagram accounts, the Facebook pages, and even other related podcasts, and do that for each one of those. And then that's where you start to engage. And so just it's not that you can create this audience out of nothing, but it's you intentionally becoming part of the conversation.
Yes.
And I just like that
I
shift.
think that's crucial because I think a lot of times people will jump into something. Oh, I got a great camera. I'm going to go be a photographer. Or my favorite is, oh, I planned my wedding. I'm going to go be a wedding planner.
Hey, I was at an association meeting several years ago, and we were going around doing self introductions, and this was right before I joined the board, I think. And I'll never forget this gal stood up and said almost exactly that. And I'm so excited she was introduced as a new member to the group.
Yeah,
And I'm so excited. I've never planned a wedding yet, but I can't wait to get all of your referrals. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So as soon as I got on the board, I helped institute some changes in requirements for membership. Like they actually had to be in business for a year.
yeah.
Okay, side tangent, go back.
Well,
But yes, I
no,
was just agreeing with
and
you.
I don't fault anybody for their passions because we all had a trigger
Yes,
point, a tipping
yes.
point of something that got us into the field that we're in, or we decided to take a different angle and do what we want to do and follow that passion. I don't fault anybody for that. Please don't misunderstand me.
And I did start my wedding business as a direct result of my own
Right.
wedding.
Absolutely. I remember that. I remember you saying that. But
Hmm.
go get the education
Yes.
to actually call yourself that. Go get certified in regards to a wedding planner.
Hmm.
Join AFWPI, or if you're a professional photographer, join their association,
Hmm.
WPPI, or PPA,
Or
and
get
just
training. Like, I mean, in my case, I got hired at a venue.
yeah,
And so I went through their training process and I
yes,
worked with their clients. And for 4 years, I mean, that venue was doing 40 to 50 weddings a year. So I had a lot of hands on training before I went
absolutely.
off and started doing my own thing.
So it's just important to have that under your belt before you jump in
Yeah.
full bore. But when you do jump in, then absolutely do what Tim is telling you and create that plan. And Mark Farrell said this a long time ago. If you want to learn how to golf, you don't hang out at the pool hall. That is so true because if you want to learn from the best, so you want to associate yourselves with the best. It's why I've taken private workshops with Jeffrey Gitomer and was one of only 5 people in a recent workshop with him. Because
That's so amazing. I'm really jealous. Every time you bring that up, it makes me jealous.
it was awesome. I mean, he's sitting there making me
I
crepes.
know.
Jeffrey Gitomer was flipping me pancakes literally on a Monday morning. It was after the Super Bowl. It was awesome. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Well,
learn,
I've seen the video of him talking about you too. So,
yeah,
yeah.
just learn
Yeah,
from
that's a legit relationship and connection right there.
learn from the experts that have come before you. And
Hmm.
I wrote about this in an article. Jeffrey's talked about it. It really hit home to me in the Gitomer Certified Advisor workshop and training was, who's your mentor's mentor?
Hmm. Yep.
And you can learn a lot going back and studying old books. Myself reading Charlie Tremendous Jones over the last couple of months has been huge transformation for me, and some of his inspirational quotes we put up on Twitter and the Sales for Event
Yes.
Pros page and things like that. Um, so definitely go back and learn that. Have a plan in place. And I loved what Tim said in that as well, in regards to create 1,000 fans.
Yes, that whole idea. And that's actually Kevin Kelly's thing. He was the
Got it.
one that wrote the article. But yeah, but Tim Ferriss referenced that, but it was, yeah, 1,000 true fans. And then I posted recently a little video clip. So if you don't want to read the whole article, someone actually did a pretty decent summary, a little 6 minute video. It looked like it might have been done like for a college marketing class or something like that. It was a couple years ago, but most of it really, stuck true and was a good little summary of that.
Send
But
me
when you
that
think
link
about it,
again, and
yeah.
we'll put it in the
Okay.
video here or something.
Yeah, yeah. I've got it on our sales for Vet Pros page, but I'll send it again. But yeah, I really like that because when you think about it, if you had 1,000 true fans, like those kind of fans that are doing your marketing for you, the ones that truly love you and will use your services every chance they get, will refer you to the people they know because you have built that connection, because you have figured out how to stay top of mind. And that's all you really need. And it is unique in our business because we are constantly looking for new sources. You know, what I mean, we're more about referrals than some places that want to make clients for life. You know, like my girlfriend who owns a salon. You know, like when she has her clients, like me, she wants me to. I go back every month. When I don't leave without making my appointment for my
Right.
next visit. You know, same with my nail tech. Like they've got a client for life. As long as I live in Reno, as long as they're in that business, I will see them every single month. But in our case, you know, we wish our clients well. I don't want to do their same wedding again. I hope that their marriage lasts. But
I've
so you
done
have
that.
to. I know we've been there too. I prefer to do like the multiple sisters in one family
Well,
kind of a
yeah,
route. But you know, yeah, we've been there, done that.
but that says a really great thing about you, right? If you performed her first wedding, and when she gets engaged, she's telling her now new fiance that, hey, we have to have tailored weddings. We have to have ever after creation, you know.
It's
Uh,
just such a weird dynamic. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll take it. I don't mind. Doesn't
Yeah,
bother me in the least.
I just can't imagine as like the new spouse going into that situation. I would be like, wait, what? But that's just me, I
We
guess.
performed one bride's wedding on June 27th of 2009, and uh, looking back, sad to say that I probably knew in advance that it wasn't going to work out, or anyone could tell that day because the cake topper was of the groom like running and the bride
Oh,
like reaching from
mm-hmm.
behind kind of thing.
Yeah.
They had a child
What were their
together, and
what were their toasts like? I've told you before,
uh,
that's my
yeah, you've
major.
told me that before.
That's how we predict
Well,
the
in
quality of the toasts.
this next couple, I know they're going to be forever. The gentleman she married, her second marriage, they're a great couple, and I could just tell that this guy really had her best interests at heart, and so it's sad, but I'm glad that
Yeah.
she found true love the second
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah. Very true. But no, that was I love our little side tangents. But yeah, my point was just that we have to have a bigger audience because we
yes, I
don't
agree.
have
We
the
need a bigger
nature of
audience.
our industry is the nature of our industry is that we have to always be generating new leads. And so it's more than just connecting with one client. We have to connect with their family, with their bridal party, with the other
Yes.
guests and attendants, you know, and try to earn those referrals and those leads. So
So
it takes work.
I want to make sure we put this down because I think this is important. So we talked about, creating raving fans and people that refer you, but we didn't really delve into how to create raving fans. So I want to delve into that next episode because we're out of
Okay.
time for today. We may have
Sounds
a
good.
guest appearance next week with Dave
Yes, I hope
Tournier,
so.
and that would be awesome. And so
We
we
just have
may,
to work out our issues with 3 different time zones.
yeah, we'll work that out.
Yeah.
Or Dave may appear in place of you, maybe.
Maybe. I've got some things going on next week, so we'll
Okay.
see how my schedule plays out.
Either way, we'll pick it up next time we convene with information of how to create raving fans and also maybe a little story about you talked about how your regular service providers always get you every single month. I may be changing one soon, and I'll share why.
All right. I look forward to that conversation.
Okay, so comments
Okay.
down below, suggestions for topics if you wish. Gittimer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor signing off.
Certified personality trainer Vicki Musney. We'll
If you
see you
want
soon.
if you want to see where we are next in regards to speaking engagements or workshops,
That's
you can go
right.
to mitchtaylor.net
Or
or
VickiMusney.com.
all right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.